Today is Wednesday, April 21st, and the time is 6 p.m. We are opening the Cultural Council meeting. As a preliminary matter, this is Robin Lawson, Chair of the Newbury Cultural Council. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Minnie Flanagan,
Yes.
Lloyd Hamovic,
I'm here.
Michelle Ouellette,
Here.
Margaret Russell,
Yes.
Amy Thurlow.
Yes.
Today,
Here's Jean.
and hi, Jean. Just doing the roll call. Jean Anderson. Just say present. Okay, Jean is present. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along in the deliberations of the meeting. For this meeting, the Newbury Cultural Council is convening by video conference via Zoom as posted on the Cultural Council agenda, which can be found on the Cultural Council section of the town's website. The agenda identifies how the public may join the meeting. The agenda can also be accessed from the web's homepage by clicking on the box that says agendas at the top of the news box. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that attendees are participating by video conference. End of preamble. The first item on our agenda is to approve the meeting minutes from March 24th. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Michelle's meeting minutes from the March 24th meeting are unanimously approved. The next item on our agenda is an update on the survey.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
So you guys, I think may have seen the survey in your email at some point. I think it went out before our last meeting. And then I created the Facebook page we discussed last. For the record, I also created Instagram, but so I posted it there and I posted it in Kind People of Newbury. And then it went out again today via the town. So,
Really?
So far, as of Monday, we have 119 responses.
Great.
Oh,
You want, I mean, it's not great, but it's not awful.
Well, something that's.
And if you want, we can scroll
Okay.
through it real quick and I'll show you. Oh my God.
Oh, let's.
162, so boom, blowing up.
162?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And my plan is to keep it up until the 30th, take it down May 1st, and then, run analysis and stuff. I just pulled up Teams as though I'm in Teams and I'm going to share my screen. Hold on, let me share Zoom screen. Oh, Michelle, you need to let me do it somehow.
Oh, hold on, I was typing.
I don't know if, I don't know how, so.
Share screen.
Oh, great.
I let you do it though.
Can you make me co-host for this meeting?
Yes, how do I do that?
I think if you go over my picture and then click on the ellipsis, you might be able to right click on that or click on it and then make me co-host. These are weird because they have restrictions. They're not
Okay.
like regular Zoom.
Make co-host.
Oh, sweet. Yep. Who is it? Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. So this is the survey results. And I've been just looking over them because I love surveys. I'm a nerd. So most of the responses, or half the responses, are from Byfield, or 16% from Plum Island, 34% from Old Town, The vast majority, 63% are 60 plus. And look at this tiny, tiny sliver here. Less than 1% is in the 18 to 30, which is pretty interesting.
Okay.
And this one, lesson learned on this, next time we do it, we want to include just a number, not, I think we did open response. So you could type in the number 1 or 2, 3, rather, yeah. So most households are actually a 2-person household.
Mhm.
Most don't contain children. 77% of the people who responded don't contain children. So that's very informative, I think, because we're always like, we have to support the school. And I still think, of course, that we should support the school, but it's not a focus of this survey. Seniors, again, are a big represented chunk here. Ton of people use the library, which is great for the library, 83%. Hardly anyone participates in anything by the senior center, also super interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
88% do not.
Wow.
And then we go by cultural interests. So outdoor cultural activities is a big one. Music is a big one. Local and regional history is a big one. So those all have just 50%. And then after that, I think the next biggest one is festivals, cultural
Theater as well. Yeah.
Oh, there it is, and theater, yep. So that actually is, I think, good because of our theater in the open, and we're always trying to do music and things like that.
Mhm.
Do you attend them sometimes? Is the winner there? And these folks with the never. How do you find out about them? And this one's interesting. Not surprising, actually, in this day and age, but 62% find out about stuff via social media. So that kind of shows me that I have to make sure that I'm maintaining our page, which only has like 34 followers.
Even with this older demographic, Amy.
Yep. And we can certainly, I think, I've never used a Google survey before, but with SurveyMonkey, you can then click into the age level and see how it changes the responses. Word of mouth and newspaper are the big ones also. So that, Robin, when we're writing the letters and whoever the next chair will be, this is actually probably great information for them to know. According to our survey, these are the places where you need to tell folks that you are having an event. And we had 3 people who emailed us this weekend to do that. And we did, we shared it.
Hmm.
How should we prioritize funding? What is this one? Nature, science, environmental education. And then this one, community gathering. So Robin nailing it with the festival. Art and education in this, oh no, wait, this is restoration and historic preservation, which that's an interesting one. And then art education in the schools, considering no one with school-age children reside, I'm being dramatic with that statement, but it's interesting that so many people did, even though their seniors said that we should still support that. And I think we probably agree with that.
Mhm.
Celebrating local history are the big ones. I love the open responses though. I'm gonna just scroll through them for you. Concerts on the Green, which would be so fun.
Oh, what a great idea.
Mhm. Yep.
This is a really interesting one. And I think that what we should do, 2 thoughts. I think we should invite the senior center folks to join us and talk about this, and maybe the historical commission. And there's actually, believe it or not, a recreation commission I've never heard of. And then I was thinking I could write a report and the select board might be interested in it or might not, I don't know.
And the library.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah. So maybe we should, hey, invite them to our next meeting where we analyze the survey results. So this one, Newbury, this is brand new. This was not there Monday. Newbury only has things for school age. The senior center doesn't offer anything. So I go to Newburyport when it's open, which is interesting because we've always supported the Delvena, Robin.
Yes.
That is, yeah, this person is misinformed, and that's something that the senior center or the Council on Aging is clearly trying to rectify with their newsletter. Because
So-
it's not true that they don't offer activities. They absolutely do.
Then the 4th one is we need a true senior center. I've heard that from other seniors just talking with them in town.
Mhm.
Local musicians, art programs at the library, which we definitely do. So I think that starting some social media will help expose people to the work and the efforts that we are making and that we're conjunction with the library.
Mhm.
Outdoor concerts and plays. This one was super interesting. I don't know that we can do it, but Watertown, again, totally different demographic, hosted yard art where people put their homemade sculptures, decorations on their lawns. And I think that would be totally fun. And that might be a fun thing to do during your like Newbury Town Day or even earlier.
Mhm.
I have an
That's
idea.
doable. That's doable for this year. If somebody wanted to
Have
yeah,
that charge.
take charge of that.
I wanted to float an idea for the Newbury Town Day of pairing knowledgeable natural historians with Newbury plein air artists to sort of look at, Newbury specific sort of favorite things, if you will. Just a variety of, species, wildlife, special moments in time that his natural historians could be paired up with an artist to sort of document and perhaps share an exhibition on Newbury Town Day as a way just to sort of share and interpret some of the, sort of favorite parts of the landscape of Newbury.
Mhm. That is a grand idea. So more local
Back-
history of Newbury, more funding.
Yeah,
for
back to the
research into
survey.
slavery. Ooh.
Yeah, and if something, so this is, I think, a great opportunity for us to teach the community too about what we do a little bit. Because if someone comes to us asking for money to support their grant research or you know what I mean, a grant to support research in local slavery, certainly we would consider that.
Mhm.
With, local focus on natural history, climate change, community preservation. That's definitely not something that we do at all, but if they wanted to work on that and ask for a grant, that we could certainly consider it. This one is adorable. I didn't know there was a cultural council. So I don't know if that's uncommon.
Mhm.
Yeah, we use the Newburyport Library because the Byfield Library is out of our way. Other than PITA, we get nothing from Town Hall and Plum Island in the form of culture. Outside concerts or movies would be a nice addition. I'm gonna skip farm-based where I live. Local concerts, again, animal welfare. Okay, well, this is not culture either, but so some of these aren't relevant for us. And
Mhm.
I think that's a great opportunity for us to teach the community. Outdoor movies would be super fun.
Mhm.
Open space can go to the open space committee. Yeah, definitely maritime history, Plum Island history. When the first day the survey came out, I went into it and I noticed that this was a required field, which blew my mind, and I immediately changed it. So that's why we see nuns. So just disregard that. For your Newbury Town Day too, Fireman's Muster would be so fun. We don't do that anymore. The folks that live around the green don't like it, but it's one day. Let's see. And then this one was my favorite one, I think, which is, I think that means clinics. So we need clinics in the community pool during the summer. Note, we don't have a community pool. Nor is that cultural. And then this one is,
Backyard, Amy.
you're right,
The river.
there's a river. Be careful though. Tours of Newbury Historical Homes. My mom is on the historical commission, and I mentioned this to her, and there's tours all the time. So she suggested I share the 1635 Newbury website because it does have information on it. It's mostly about the schoolhouse, but that's a start.
Mhm.
There's Rails and Sails does them. I think usually during Yankee homecoming, they might be open too. So there are times, we just need to figure out when they are and post about it. So that's it for now. And like I said, it went out again fresh today. So I'm going to keep it up until the end of the month and then compile this and we can talk
Did
about it.
anyone answer the question about whether or not they'd be interested in?
No, I've been checking the email because it was just click on this email. No, I
Okay,
think what I'm going to do, because we've put a lot on the Facebook page lately, but I think it's time to put looking for new members. We need a chair. Robin's almost done, so we need a new chair ASAP.
Jean, so not to put you on the spot or anything, but would you consider tag teaming with me and being the new chair?
I'm not sure I really want to take that one on right at the moment. So I'm going to equivocate a bit on that.
You're gonna what?
I'm going to equivocate.
Equivocate on it?
I'm going to say, I would, it is not something I want to take on right at the moment, for a few personal reasons. But I would, we'll, as the month progresses here, I guess we'll sort of see how
Well,
things.
my term is up June 30th. And since I will be ex officio and we've had such difficulty with knowledge transfer, and also because I'm working on Newburytown Day anyway, I would be willing to do a fair amount of the heavy lifting and of which there isn't actually that much. And work with you on that until you can feel comfortable with it. But actually, it's not that much work.
Hi.
And we've only actually started having monthly meetings since you joined. We didn't even used to have monthly meetings.
Right.
And it's because of the reason we're having monthly meetings now is really because of the survey that and because of Newburytown Day. And if I look at the agenda, I think that's why we're having monthly meetings. So I'm not saying that will cease, Jean, but the bulk of the effort is really, and now with Michelle especially handling so much in the secretary department, that's just taken a big lift off. But the bulk of it is at the end of the year when we send out the disapproval and the approval letters, which takes me maybe a couple of hours.
Well, again,
Think about it.
I don't think I'm ready to say yes at this moment.
No, we get that. But I wanted to tell you that because we're going to move on because I don't want to. I mean, this is awkward for you, and I didn't mean to do that to you. But we've been kicking this can. We kind of had to.
Yeah.
We kind of had.
But I'm happy to continue talking to you about it.
Excuse me.
I'm happy to continue talking to you about it.
Thank you. Alicia has actually been. Alicia Greco has been. Kind of looking, keeping her eyes peeled for another potential member, but she pretty much has her plate full. Oh, hello, Bart.
I apologize. Did I miss the link I was trying wasn't working?
Yeah, you're not the only one.
The same problem.
Same trouble.
Oh, okay.
It's the one to use is the one that Michelle sends out in her email.
Oh,
Did you get it? I just sent it to you, Bart. Did you get it from me?
I didn't get it. I'm still can't get on.
What do you mean you are on?
You're on.
We're seeing you.
I'm just joking.
Well, for that one, hook, line, and sinker.
Thank you, Minnie.
So we're gonna move this towards other people whose terms are expiring, and so that I don't continue to make Jean feel awkward. So sorry about that, Jean. Now, Minnie, can you give us the update on that, on yours?
Last thing I got was from you.
Right.
I respond to you that they usually don't look at it. I'd have to look at it again, but I think it was they look at it in June,
Correct.
or they bring it to the board in June.
Yeah.
Or the board considers it in June. Pardon
Yeah.
me.
So it'll be on the agenda in June.
Yes, thank you. I knew
Okay.
there was language for that.
Okay. And then what are the dates for everybody?
I think Margaret and Lloyd
September 1st.
So no big rush for you, Lloyd. The main question is you, Margaret, because last I heard you were going to follow up with Tracy Blaze, who was going to follow up with Lisa Mead, correct?
Correct. So let me see if I can be really brief here. I've been all over the place with this. I've spent a lot of time talking with the State Ethics Commission. And then I did speak with town council. So I have a much better understanding of the conflict of interest law, particular to my concerns. And so initially my first thought was, I'm just not going to seek another reappointment because the restrictions were feeling very tight to me. And then the other side of me doesn't want to do that because I don't like to abandon ship, and I really enjoy being a part of this, and I really enjoy reviewing the grant proposals and going over all of that. So the determination is what's difficult is being a member of the council. We all have to make sure that that we aren't using our positions and inadvertently using our positions to gain access to something that someone else would not be able to. So what happened, particularly for me, is being a part of the Maudsley Open Sculpture Group, which didn't come until after I had voted for the their grant proposal. So that kind of eliminates me from being able to participate in that this year. Next year, if I were to stay on the council, I would just excuse myself.
Abstain, yeah.
Right,
That makes
abstain,
sense.
and whether, step away from, hopefully it won't still be Zoom, but step out of the room and not participate in any discussion. Of the three concerns I had, that one was the one that kind of went back and forth, and how that could have been perceived because I voted for the grant, and then all of a sudden was granted membership in the group, could be a conflict of interest. Newbury Town Day overall, and this Lloyd and I kind of had a good email going back and forth. What I since found out, and this is going to be particular to you, Lloyd, too, is Newbury Town Day would not matter for us to participate as artists or artisans in the community because anybody else in the community can participate. Right. So I see you nodding your head, Jean. So that's not a concern. And to apply for the fellowship, the Artist Fellowship through the MCC, that's not a concern because the Newbury Cultural Council has no voting or anything to do with that. So in thinking it over, and I would like to stay on for another 3 terms, but again, or another term, another 3 years. But again, I'm going to preface it by saying, and I know you need officers, but I'm going to preface it by saying I would not be interested in being an officer, but I would try to make up for that by continuing to really research the grant proposals, go back into the history with them like I generally do. And I would like to, and I know I could do it outside of the council, but I really would like to head up some sort of artist studio tour or artist grouping in some way, or co-head that with someone. So that's where I am. And what was very reassuring through town council was specifically stating that the conflict of interest law can be very confusing. And that's what I was finding. So, the examples, when you go through the training, the examples are very wide. They're not particular to, in my case, my individual situation with 3 concerns. So that made me feel a little better that I wasn't grasping it. I felt like I'm missing something here. So that all being said, and it really, I just have to reemphasize, it was a lot of time and a lot of decision. And at one point I just threw up my hands and I just thought, no more, because I just don't want to have to enter in everything with such an awareness. But then I think of the other side, it's really important to have artists and artisans be on this council.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Margaret. And thank you for all of the time that you invested. I'm sorry it ended up being such a struggle, but really great that town council was able to advise you.
huge.
Yeah, recusing yourself is, as we discussed before, happens all the time.
Yep. Yeah. And they were extremely helpful. They really were. So, okay, so that's kind of where I am at. And if, that all sounds good and okay with everyone, I certainly would like to stay on for another term.
Great,
Good.
thank you. Lloyd, and is that ditto for you? Sorry about my kitty. Is that ditto for you?
Yes, generally speaking, to paraphrase what Margaret has said, yes. Those conflicts of interest, I wasn't really concerned about because I was not going to actually profit from anything
Mhm.
or take away from anybody else opportunity. I'm still slightly up in the air whether I want to do this for another 3 years, but I have found and am recruiting another person who is a longtime artist who lives in town. And it's not because of the council, it's because of other things coming up in my life and business. But I probably will stay for another 3-year term, and also, and I'll send you her information later.
Thanks.
Great.
Finding a person who A, could replace me, or B, just be added to the council. Okay?
Great, thank you. Anybody else have any comments?
Sounds like good news to me.
Sounds like
Yeah.
good news to me.
All right.
Yeah, I was holding my breath through all of your dissertations there, and it was a good outcome.
Oh, good.
But yeah,
Am I to
found
understand you are still looking for names of people to be added? In general, just Robin, do you want names sort of sent to
Well,
you?
let's look where we are now after this meeting. We know that we have 7 people committed to being on the council. Or, well, actually, let's be realistic. Why don't we say that through the end of June, we have 7 members of the council. July 1, I will be off, so that makes it 7. Then when September 1st rolls around, there's a question about whether or not Lloyd will be with us. That means that we have, we could feasibly only have 6. Make sense?
Well, Robin, are you staying on, just stepping down from the chair?
I can't. My term is up. It's legal.
Oh, I see. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was saying before is that since you guys all voted me to be ex officio, I will continue in a support role and support the new chair, but I will no longer be able to vote or anything like that. So anyway, what I'm saying is, so as of July, today's reality, come July 1, this council will have 7 members, which means that we could easily add an 8th. It's also possible that if Lloyd decides that he's going to step down, which will be September 1st, then we'll be 7 and we will need an 8th. We don't need an 8th. It's good to have enough hands on deck, that we have lots of different points of view, as well as enough people to do the work. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know, me personally, I trust all of you. If you have someone you know whom you recommend to join us, then that person probably will be a good fit. So Minnie, if you have somebody in mind you'd like to propose, and Lloyd has somebody in mind he'd like to propose, worst case scenario, we end up with 9. No, what did I say? Did I do the math wrong? Whatever, 8 or 9.
Right.
Okay.
And that's the way I saw it. So as time goes out for me, we'll see, but most likely I will be back. And I have a good person who is a good organizer and likes committees and is very art oriented in the town. So.
Well, that's great, because if Jean decides that she does not want to, she doesn't want to be chair, and your colleague hopped on come July 1, then, and that person is well organized and committed to the arts, and there's no person that person can't step into being chair. It won't be like what Amy went through. In other words, we're just having to do this, this learning curve from 0 to 100. in 60 seconds because there wasn't anybody to help her except for the sainted Eileen, and so who's our town accountant. That won't be the situation now. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is that anybody who would be well suited to be chair could step in quickly because I will help that person. And Amy will help that person, and Michelle will help that person. All of us will help that person.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, any further discussion on that one?
If I have someone in mind as a name, should I just submit it to you as a possibility, or how do you?
Yeah, I'm not the boss of this. I think you just submit it to everybody.
Okay,
I would have them maybe attend the next meeting and
Mhm.
see if they're into it.
Yeah, it's an open
Okay.
meeting, so.
okay. And is there, having not done this before, is there a particular talent or background that people particularly are hoping to add to the council?
Humor.
Humor. Got it.
Town resident.
Yeah,
Town
town
resident.
resident
Got it. Yeah, okay.
cares about the arts. That's really what I'm asking for. Yeah.
Cares about the town.
Okay. Clear enough.
And then,
Yeah, we've tried to get diversity geographically, Jean.
Mhm.
And
That's right.
so now we have 2 people, you and Minnie from Plum Island. We've got a bunch of Byfield people. Amy's in Old Town. So that was part of it. We were trying to expand our demographics. And we helped with that a little bit, but you know, we are always hoping to have younger people, but the reality is the reality. It's we know who we know. And we were actually, from our survey, in many ways, we're representative of the town population, which is what it is. So, anybody else have a comment about that?
No, well, I would love some parents with kids in school sort of.
Yeah,
But if we can't get it, we can't get it. And then Jean, once, if they're interested, they just go through the same process you just did, which is write a
Right.
letter to the select people. And they'll approve or not. I can't imagine they would say no, but
yeah. Normally, I think all of you said, "Dear Select Board, so and so invited me to participate," so that there's an identifier. It could be the members of the Newbury the Cultural Council that have asked me to apply. It doesn't have to be a person's name, but however that person wants to phrase it. But there has to be. I mean, it shouldn't be that person just coming in from the cold, I think.
Are we limited to the number of people that we can have or no?
And I think on the other side, Michelle, 5 is minimum.
Okay,
And after that, I don't believe that there's a limit.
okay.
So, but me personally, I think that this is a good number for reasons I just stated, and it's manageable because we can all, we plan our meetings far enough in advance that people can make it. Does anybody else have a comment on that, the number of people?
Well, the only thing I was thinking is if you need to have like a quorum and somebody can't make it for some reason, because now we're having monthly meetings, it might be nice to have a couple extra people.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mhm.
I also think if we have a couple extra people who are new to this, it gives us maybe time to recruit them as a chair.
Mhm.
We'll see.
And you'll have more people to help out with the event next spring.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. And maybe one of them wants to take over social media. That'd be cool.
Mhm.
Yep.
Which actually, let's skip over the update on Newbury Town Day and go directly, if you don't mind. Is that okay with everyone to go directly to council specific social media? Since Amy just brought that up, is that all right to skip over that? And I'll come back
Sure.
to.
Mhm.
Okay, shoot, Amy.
Well, I said this when I talked about the survey, but yep, I created the Facebook page. You all know that. I did create an Instagram page, but I haven't worked with it much. I will. I posted a link to the Facebook page in That Kind People of Newbury. We have like 30 followers, but it's better than nothing. And then Robin and I have both been posting upcoming events, which is good. There's 3 things going on this weekend. If you don't know, it's the literary I'm sorry, I sell a database that's called Literary Reference Center, and I almost sold it to you. help me out, the literary
Well,
Festival.
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 DocuFest, and I think tickets are available now. Is the shorts this weekend? It has to be. And
yes,
then Cantimus is on Sunday night via the local TV or web. So, and Robin and I posted about all three of those things, just to, try to get word out there and start spreading the news.
And I asked Jesslyn, who was the DocuFest person, I told her in an email that I had posted their information, and they said, you're welcome to do that yourself in the future. So I think that's the other thing we want to do is rather than email us, we'll do that going forward. And I probably should have done that with the Katamas guy, is say, please go ahead and, post this on our, you don't agree, Amy?
No, I made that face because he emailed us again today, and I was like, we just posted it like 3 days ago. I don't feel the need to post it again, the Cantimus one.
Can he do it himself, Amy?
I don't see why not, but I think that they want us as Newbury Town Council. No, I just had a shot. It might be hitting me. Newbury Cultural Council posted about it rather than them putting it on our page. I think when we posted, it's a little bit different, but I don't know. But I don't want to because he's super detailed and intense. I suspect he's like, oh, they posted mine, then they posted DocuFast, then they posted Literary Reference Center. There you go. And now I want mine back at the top. He might be doing that, but I don't know.
Well, I say Steve Miles is a great guy, but I sometimes ignore him.
He's very detailed.
Yeah, he's also very proactive.
Yep. Yeah, it could be just that I'm sure he's emailing everyone.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
I blame him. It's a tough year, and especially right now where it's on this weird cusp of people going out or not. So you want as much activity as you can get.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Well, thank you for that.
But I would say if any of you have, any friends, or if you want me to put up a picture of your work, I'd love to start getting some color on that page as well.
Okay.
is this the Instagram page you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about Facebook right now.
Okay, okay.
Well, I mean, Instagram would be fine too. It was actually kind of complicated to create the Facebook page. I had to create it under my own account, which I hate Facebook. So that was complicated. And then Instagram was the opposite. So they're not tied together.
Yeah.
So I'll figure it out. But yeah, I guess they'll have to be separate. And yeah, as Michelle said, for those of you who don't know, Instagram is pictures, which is why I like it better. So pictures would be great. And it can be anything. As we heard from that survey, folks are interested in local history and things like that. Michelle, I took a picture for Instagram for the first page of the landing place monument near our houses.
Oh, cool.
It was appropriate. Yeah.
Yep.
Not a great picture, but it will be a good start.
I have that picture of the 150th.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
I could put that on. Can I post on it too, or no?
Robin's been able, yeah, I think
Okay.
any of us.
I figured it out, Amy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
It's finding the button, right? I couldn't
Exactly.
find
I had to search. I just signed up. Facebook is tough.
You signed up for what, Bart?
Oh, I'm sorry. I tried to get onto our Facebook account. I had to really search for it.
Yeah, it's Newbury MA. Newbury
Yeah,
Mass.
that's right. I just got it. Okay.
And then it's a picture of over by Old Town Hill as the first photo there.
Yeah.
Or I think that's the whatever you call it photo background. I don't know. Robin struggled at first because she thought she was putting it up, and it ended up she was sending a message to the group itself. And then you did figure out the last one you did was correct, Robin.
You have to find the button that says post.
Yeah.
And I think I was probably trying to do it on my phone. It really is better on PC.
Oh my God, I'm the opposite, but maybe because I own the page on my phone.
That could be.
Yeah, and
It might have been the other way around. I don't know. I don't remember.
Is there a link to it on the town page for the cultural council?
To the Facebook page?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just,
No, I emailed it to you all though.
I'm just wondering whether people would find it if they, we're looking around sort of the town.
That's a good question. We could maybe put a link to it because we have our own page on the town page.
Yeah, I can probably figure that out.
Oh, that'd
Oh,
be
that'd be
great.
great.
Michelle.
Not that anybody goes on that page, but I hope
No, I
so.
know, but yeah,
I mean, they might.
that'd be great. Yeah, and actually the Facebook, and it's kind of the opposite of your question, but the Facebook page does link to our page, Michelle.
Now, there is a Newbury Town Day Facebook page that I hope you all will find and like. And I don't know how to link that page to the Cultural Council page because I am Facebook challenged. If anybody knows how to do that or can tell me how to do it since I own the page, that would be very helpful.
So you created the Newbury Town page under?
I did.
Under
Under
your,
my fake Facebook name.
yeah, I had to do the same. So I don't think that you can link them, but I,
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought you could.
heck if I know.
No, I have no idea how to do that. And I don't see
Yeah.
but that's why we need a kid. But actually, we have.
did
Exactly.
ask-
We need somebody 30 years old, 20
I
years
did
old.
ask my daughter if she would help and she said yes, but she just started a new job, so I'm gonna give her a minute. Because it's really gonna be the same amount of work. Then I have to send her what to post, or you all would have to send her what to post, which is like, then just do it myself. I'm very much a DIY kind of gal.
Well, if we could link those two, that would be a good thing, but certainly not urgent.
We can Google that and see what we can do.
Okay. Now, are we ready to move to the next agenda item?
Mhm.
All right, update on Newbury Town Day. I'm going to tell you about the steering committee. If you could make me a presenter, Michelle, so that I can share my screen,
Mhm.
that would be very helpful. We have a steering committee comprising Heidi Fram. Oh, did you all see the article in yesterday's Daily News?
It was very nice.
Michelle, thank you for sending it. Certainly, I don't get the news.
Yeah,
That's
thank
good.
you. Unfortunately, it was published on the day when there's no print edition, but it's still, I'm sure it got lots of circulation.
Well, Robin Kettleson put it on our Facebook page, so that
Yes.
was.
Yes, she did. See,
Robin
she
Kettleson
learned how to
did.
post.
Usually when it's not on a print day, it does show up like the subsequent day. So,
Yeah, but I didn't see it today
okay, I'll take a look. I might.
in the print edition, but
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, they have days where they don't do print?
Tuesday and Saturday, they no longer basically put a print paper out.
How am I supposed to start my fire?
They do an
Question,
electronic
actually.
version though.
It's tough in the winter. But they, this is, I think, related to the pandemic and
oh, absolutely. It's
Costs.
related to not enough advertisers, Jane.
yeah.
It's
So,
very small
but
paper, yeah.
often the articles that do end up being posted digitally on Tuesday and Saturdays do seem to show up, on Wednesdays and Mondays then eventually. Although it may not be every article. They're a little hard to predict these days and their costs keep going up, which is probably not going to help them either.
Right.
Well, I think it's a very good sign that there's an electronic version, a full edition on Tuesdays, because 2 months ago, or even 1 month ago, there was nothing, no print, no electronic edition on either Tuesdays or Saturdays. So now there's a full electronic version on Tuesday, but really nothing but Bridge and Dear Abby on Saturdays and the classified. So that's a good sign because it means they have enough advertisers that they can at least, create a full electronic version on Tuesdays. So we might see that again, a print edition again on Tuesdays, who knows? So anyway, I wanted to tell you about our steering committee. Heidi and I are co-chairs. All the people whose names you read in the paper, Dick Barzikin, Mike Walpone, who actually I believe is chair of the recreation committee that somebody mentioned that a little while ago. But we have a new Ryan Kelly, who is Bud Kelly's son, who actually is a young guy. And I can ask him that Facebook question at our steering committee meeting on Monday. We now have established a steering committee meeting every other Monday at 6. Any and all of you are invited to come to that meeting. If you'd like, just let me know. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. But we have a new member whose name is Robin Williams. Anybody know Robin Williams?
Yeah.
So she's joining us as of Monday.
Yep.
So that brings us up, I believe, to 8. Oh, and Lynn Kettleson, as in Robin Kettleson. He's joining us. Are you gonna, can you guys see my screen?
No.
Okay.
Robin, I didn't hear what day you said you're meeting, every other,
Every other Monday at 6 p.m.
okay.
So the first one being this coming Monday, the 26th at 6. And that will be the first kind of
Is that not
official.
town meeting?
What?
No,
that
town
not-
meeting is the 27th.
It's
Town meeting is the 27th.
Okay.
So at town meeting on the 27th, Heidi and I are going to be making a presentation. And essentially it's to tell everybody, it's the official kickoff really, to tell everybody about, to beg for our $5,000 to be
Rob, I
voted.
wonder why you need $5,000 this fiscal?
We already have costs, Amy. Yeah,
Okay.
printing the flyer, we have to pay for the janitors,
You have to
custodial.
pay for them a year in advance?
What?
You have to pay for them a year in advance?
No, we have flyers that are already printed, right?
Oh.
I had to reserve the domain name.
Mhm.
Oh, it's all the infrastructure costs,
No, I'm just wondering. That's
and
all.
I'm just telling you. So you have,
Okay.
and you have,
Whoa.
so on May 22nd, we're having the planning meeting at the Newbury Elementary. Right? That's the idea session where people are invited to come and propose open artist studios, or Jean, your idea that you just,
That's the charrette.
that's the charrette. We had to retire the name charrette because people didn't know what it meant and they were confused. So, because we now call it the planning event formerly known as the charrette.
Okay.
So that's
At what time?
that's an inside joke. So now you've just been invited to share the inside joke. In any event, the charrette is going to be May 22nd, and at that event we need custodial. So that's what I'm answering your question about expenses this far in advance, and then we're probably going to have another one in the fall. So that's why. But luckily, the town's fiscal year begins July 1st. So as soon as the money is appropriated, it has to be voted at town meeting, Article 20, I believe. Then we will, and now we have to, we have to open a bank account. The bank charges to open a bank account. You got to buy checks. So that, so all these little, these little picky startup costs. In any event, so Heidi and I are waiting. This is just details, but Heidi and I are waiting for some advice from her accountant about how to set up a bank account. But anyway, and we're talking about things like applying for additional grants over the summer, because the local businesses will be putting their budgets together before next year, because that's what they do. So that's one of the topics on the table for our Monday night meeting. And so it's all this, pre-planning stuff. And then we'll be discussing, Dick Bosigan, I think I mentioned to you, has agreed to not only be on the steering committee, but also to moderate the event formerly known as charrette. And we're going to be talking about how to get that event organized with social distancing. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be in the gym. So that's the time to come with your ideas. Any questions?
What time is that event?
The which one? The
charrette.
Charrette. The charrette is 11 to 1 on May 22nd. And anytime you want to share, make me presenter, Michelle?
I did.
Yes?
Yep, I did a while ago, like.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay, so I have to share my screen? Then share screen.
Do you have 2 monitors?
I do. There it
That's
is.
the issue.
Okay.
I just learned that this week. It's been a hassle.
There you go. You should be able to see it now. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. So this is our groovy new logo. This is actually the application to the flyer. This was designed by Tracy Smith. Pro bono.
That's really nice.
Isn't that great?
Great.
So we're all thrilled about that. And this is the this flyer. This is flyer and poster. So this is all the information you were just asking me about. I'll send this PDF to you guys. So this is actually all. This is already printed. So we got this done way ahead so that we could distribute it at the at town meeting. Really to promote, mostly to to obviously to raise awareness and to promote the event formerly known as charrette. So there you go. Kayak race, tug of war. There's some.
A clam shucking contest.
You know what? You know
Clam
what,
shucking contest.
Minnie?
What?
Seriously, when Heidi was doing Byfield Days, that's real. That was one of the contests. Isn't that hilarious? I love that.
I
Gotta
think
see
it's-
that.
So, and this is your idea, Amy, right? Web paint auction. Open Artist Studios, that's Margaret, right? And Aviation History Talk, that's Ted Russell.
What about something with the schools and like students with music, maybe?
Oh, these are just ideas. This was just to give people a flavor of
Mhm.
the ideas, because then people who come to this meeting, they're going to own their own ideas. So the actual events are not up to us. The events are up to people who want to take the lead. This is built on the model, actually, of, well, most festivals are done this way, but this is how Byfield Days worked. So there was a planning meeting, and somebody said, "Hey, I want to have fiddlers." So somebody went out and found fiddlers, or I want to have a tug of war, or I want to have a road race. And someone took charge and owned and managed. Was a team captain for the event. So that's this exact same plan here. So anybody in this group who would like to be a team captain for an idea, like Margaret has already signed up to do that, and Jean, I believe, just signed up to do hers, then that's what this event is for. And then we'll compile all these ideas. And then ultimately, as over the course of the next few months, over the summer and the fall, when people start putting their ideas together, and also giving us some estimates of costs, then we can start looking for grants. We're thinking about hitting up for instance, the Newburyport Bank, or maybe the institution. We just don't know yet. This is a steering committee type of thing. It's completely outside my area of expertise. I know nothing about this. So this is why we have a good group.
Someone on your committee is rather affiliated with the Starboard Galley, so you could have her reach out to her husband.
Could do that. Oh, well, although she's ex officio, that's right, the right term. Anyway, so there's, but we need to get that going. And as you know, there is, because we talked about this before, there's a MCC has a festival fund. The Essex County Community Foundation has something called Creative County, I think it is, something like that. But those grants applications aren't even due for 2022 until March 15th next year. So, that'll be part of our list of things to do. But needless to say, it's not urgent. But what is urgent is to come up with enough estimated costs. So we need to get numbers for the police detail, and that's actually going to be the major cost. And we had talked at one point about insurance, but then we all decided that we actually didn't really need insurance after all. But anyway, so we're going to need to start talking to the Starboard Galleys of the world and the banks of the world to and going there with the tin cup. So we are just about at 7:00. Anybody have comments about Newburytown Day or anything else?
I did notice something about the kayak race that might be worth approaching, like Newbury Canoe and Kayak, to see if they want to sponsor that.
Yeah.
And actually maybe organize it.
Yep.
Actually would be a great place for folks to launch too, Michelle, as you know.
Yeah, and maybe you and I, way back at the very first conversation we had about this in February, you talked about shuttle buses, and there's been some discussion about the was it the kayak transport? Anyway, there's been some discussion about you're getting that for free, because it's a good, good for promotion, and as opposed to paying for it. So these are all the ideas that are in the offing. So any of you who would like to come to the steering committee meeting, you're more than welcome. Okay, so it's a wrap. Anybody else have a comment? I hope, and God knows, I hope you come to town meeting next week, and I hope you come to the event formerly known as Charette on the 22nd of May.
So Robert, I'm not sure I can make that, but just one other thought is that we might go, there's this whole movement now trying to have people compost. And maybe we could, as a part of this town day, really promote composting and recycling.
We'll put you down for you're the team captain for that one, Bart.
Thank you. It's
That's
actually
actually a
important.
really good idea. There's a whole bunch of new people that moved to our street and they're all asking about it. So
Yeah.
there's actually a really good state program, and people can get composters from the city of Newburyport on certain times. So that might be interesting to have them involved too.
Yeah, there was-
That is a great idea.
in the paper, there was a young man that's just starting up.
Yeah, yeah, I saw
Locally.
that.
Oh, yeah.
So there's
So
one called Mona, and then there's another one, I forget the name, but that's one we use actually.
Yeah. Mona, I believe, is the young man that's.
It is.
really-
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Hmm.
And the one that we use has been great. The amount of waste that we put out there is
Yeah.
unbelievable, and it's weekly. They pick up weekly.
Black Earth is the,
Black Earth composting.
yeah,
So
yeah. but
This would be a great way, not only for people to find a resource, but for Mona or Black Earther to promote their business or
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep.
a great opportunity. It's like, this is going to be a great opportunity. I cannot tell you guys the degree of which, I mentioned this at our last meeting, the reception of this idea has been so positive and wonderful that somebody actually wrote that down in the survey, Amy.
Yep.
So this is good. So we're hoping for a good turnout on May 22nd and lots of great ideas. And Heidi said that when she ran Byfield Day, she could count on one hand the people who signed up to be team captains and didn't deliver, because this is gonna depend on the residents to make it happen.
Robin, are you going to post the dates and stuff in our Facebook group as well? The dates for the meetings, because I will not remember it from now to then.
What I can I just upload this PDF?
Sure.
That's what I'll do.
And then maybe, like 2 weeks before May 22nd, don't forget, May 22nd, come share your ideas for Newburytown Day. And then the weekend before, what are you doing next weekend? Come share your ideas.
Can you send me the PDF as well? I'll
I'm
put
gonna
it
send
on
everybody the PDF.
website.
Yeah, I didn't want to send it ahead to you guys. I wanted to show it to you, but I'm gonna shoot it up as soon as we get off this call.
Cool.
Amy, have you used Twitter very much?
No, I don't use Twitter at all.
I have for work a little bit, so maybe I'll try and create a Twitter page.
Yeah,
and-
Nellie's good at it. If you struggle, let me know. She'll create one for us.
Okay, cool.
I have a question on the flyer. It says Newburytown Day. You need to capitalize the day, I think, on Facebook. And then it says Newburytownday.weebly. What's Weebly part of the Facebook?
Oh
name?
yeah, I missed that. Oh dear, it should have been cap. This is printed already, but yeah,
sorry.
it should be uppercase D. Oh, well.
I'm really good at catching things like that.
It's one of those things where everybody needs an editor, including me.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a proofreader, including the person who creates the stuff. But in any event, yes, it's Weebly's free. Weebly is a free hosting service.
Do you want to include a link to are you saying, so Newburytown Day on Facebook, visit us, Newburytown Day on Facebook. Do you want to include a link? Oh, this is already done. It's too late is what you're saying.
Done.
Okay. Never mind.
But we'll redo this flyer for other iterations after May 22nd. So we'll fix that then. So the idea behind, so with Weebly, you're stuck with using that in your URL, and you have to have a little blip on the page. That's the downside. The upside is that it's free. So
Yeah.
any of the cheapskates in this town who know that will realize that we are getting hosting free. So, it's not ideal, but that's what you do when it's bootstrapped.
No, I was just, I thought, I read it and I thought that was the Facebook link and I was confused. That's all. Yeah, sorry. Got it.
Okay, anything else?
What, next meeting?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Michelle. Shall we have a meeting in May?
We're gonna have to go over the survey, unfortunately, sorry.
I don't think it's unfortunate. I love meeting with you guys. As a matter of fact, I was gonna ask you if you could turn off the recording so we could gossip for a few minutes.
You can't.
And May 19th?
Oh, man. That's my birthday.
Well, we could do it.
Cake.
We could do it on the 26th.
No,
Happy
I'm not
birthday.
in town.
What?
I'd rather do it on my birthday.
Oh, okay. But the only reason I was gonna say the 26th because that'll be after the event formerly known as Charrette.
Yeah, that might be them.
I can't make it, but that's fine.
On the other hand, Robin, would the open forum questions from the survey help at the charrette? Are you interested in those as part of it? Or you-
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh.
so maybe the 19th is better, and then we can go over what your meeting was in June.
Yeah. Yeah, and if most of us are there, then okay, so did we settle on the 19th? Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay,
I'm in.
excellent. Okay, so remember next go around that Michelle sends out the Zoom link, so use hers.
No, going forward, you have to get it right in the town announcement. I don't know if it was us or them. So that's just a typo.
I
Oh,
did get it in the.
oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it from the town out and it did go
Me
back.
too.
to
Mhm.
Okay, May 19th,
Okay.
6:00.
Have a good evening.
All right.
Thank you. I'm gonna go watch the Red Sox, who are hot, hot, hot.